Going to my mind's going blank now. What's happening? What, I can't remember. I'm gonna lose track. My mind's going blank now. What are you talking about? What the hell's going on here? Where the hell are we? My mind's going blank now. I can't remember. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. What am I doing here? My mind's going blank now. Where am I headed? I keep forgetting I'm president. Where am I? No idea. Last night on the television, I was on a telephone rapidly rising and with I don't know. COVID has taken more than 100 years. Look, here's why it's reflected in the NHDI. America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was afoot in we're going to seize the ill-begotten gains of Putin's kleptocracy. Yeah. NATO's purpose is to defend against aggression. Let me make that near and dear to you that you would like to be able to. Anyway. My mind's going blank now.
Now that right there is definitely a top jam, and if only he was as good as an auto-tuned singer as he was a president, maybe we wouldn't be facing the prospects of World War III and economic calamity. But hey, you can't have it all. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. My name is Luke Rudowski here of WeAreChange.org. And man, oh man, is there some absolutely wild and crazy news to get into today, especially after the overtly aggressive moves being made by PayPal that are now being met with the hashtag bankrupt PayPal. Why is this happening? What are the larger implications here? What's the deeper, more sinister ties to PayPal? Well, we're going to be talking about that, plus a lot more, as well as, of course, the deteriorating situation in Ukraine right now, as, of course, we've just had a major escalation, a major moment in this proxy conflict that, of course, is going to be worth talking about, mentioning, and discussing in its longer implications, as it looks like we're just in the beginning phases of a very serious situation that's only going to get a lot more serious from here. Now, the clip that we played in the beginning of this broadcast was done by somebody. I don't know who did this. If you know who did this, let me know down in the comment section below so I could attribute and, of course, link their work in the description, as, of course, this auto-tune of all the greatest and latest Joe Biden gaffes were put together and made into a music video that is absolutely hilarious. We only played you a small segment, and as soon as we find this creator, we, of course, will be linking to their incredible, amazing work down in the description below. As, of course, I think right now it is extremely important to have art, to have music, to have self-expression that, of course, represents a picture and perspective of the world that makes us contemplate our existence on this planet, which could only happen if ideas and expressions aren't limited, which is exactly what PayPal is doing and why right now bankrupt PayPal is being shared around widely on a lot of big tech social media circles. Why is this happening? Well, PayPal just a few days ago announced a new policy that they were going to be implementing that would fine users $2,500 from their accounts retroactively if they shared the wrong expressions and ideas. I kid you not. PayPal literally bragged about this new implementation of their policy, which they were very proud of a few days ago, saying, hey, you advocate for misinformation, you present a risk to a user's well-being, well, we're going to steal money from you, specifically $2,500. Now, what is misinformation? What is this safety or well-being? What are these generalized terms exactly going to mean? Well, of course, PayPal kept them vague because when they keep them vague, they, of course, could influence, stifle ideas, stifle expression, all the while imposing a totalitarian social media hellscape where people are too afraid to even speak out against the status quo, mainly because PayPal's going to rob them. Who's going to be deciding what was hurting other people's feelings? What was their understanding of misinformation? Well, it was their sole discretion to decide whatever they wanted it to be. You present an idea or thought that is objectionable. You discriminate against someone's gender identity, as PayPal openly claimed. And just like a thug running after your grandma's purse in the middle of the night down the street, they openly proclaimed and bragged, yes, we're going to be these future robbers, up until they got a massive backlash and decided to do a 180-degree reverse turn course, saying, oh no, this was an error. We made a mistake here. We will not be stealing your money in the middle of the night. Oopsie daisy, there was a little coinky-dink here, yes. Which, of course, a lot of people are being very skeptical of, as, of course, PayPal, as a company that many people argue has a monopoly on financial transactions on the internet, has already been abusing its power, its authority, and punishing people, deplatforming people, debanking people for simply also expressing political ideas that they did not like. As of course already under existing law, especially here in the United States, PayPal, as a private company, has the ability to implement whatever policy it wants, as argued unironically by many leftists and socialists. As of course, the mega monopoly corporation has already shut down a free speech union, anti-war voices, independent media, artists, and other comedians who dared to joke about ideas and express ideas that PayPal didn't like. They have also partnered and worked with discredited organizations like the SPLC that were sued many times in court for their slander, for them deliberately trying to hurt people's reputation by lying about them while pushing for their censorship, deplatforming, and debanking. This, again, highly discredited organizations with ties to, of course, a lot of sinister billionaires bankrolling them, that has predominantly attacked people's ideas, causing real-life harm, is now working with PayPal as, of course, to weed out and debank individuals who dared to express ideas that the SPLC didn't like. Again, this is not an organization known for its accuracy. They have gotten many things wrong for the detriment to many individuals, to the point where they had to settle in court many times for their clearly aggressive political actions that went over the top. And this is why PayPal working with them is many reasons why hashtag bankrupt PayPal is now being shared around widely on big tech social media, with online commentators like Jack Posobiec saying, quote, no one is buying their walk back. We know what their plan is. They're just mad they got caught, as essentially a social credit score is what a lot of very powerful multinational corporations and big banks, along with centralized digital currencies, is what a lot of people are after. And the best way to implement such a draconian, over-the-top, centralized system is, of course, destroy any kind of voices who have opposition for it, spread disinformation, spread propaganda, spread lies, while, of course, censor individuals like even the Surgeon General of Florida that just had one of his tweets deleted from his platform on Twitter. All of this as, of course, the White House, along with the federal police departments of this government, institutions like the FBI, are going around big tech social media platforms and censoring stories about the president's son. This as we're also finding out that the White House is spending $265,000 on staff inside of their administration to deflect against the very serious allegations against Hunter Biden, highlighting another clear form of misinformation and propaganda from the administration that literally wants to control the internet and in many instances already has been controlling. As we recently found out, the White House has been censoring and deplatforming former New York Times journalists, satire websites, and other individuals who dared to, of course, question their defunct, bankrupt ideas. And this is why, with all this censorship, with bankrupt PayPal going on right now, we have just launched an alternative to PayPal, specifically Stripe. We're going to have another alternative available for you when it comes to, of course, signing up to LukeUncensored.com, a platform that, by the way, also gives people exclusive access to t-shirts and merchandise at cost, with limited exclusive shirts that you could only get as a member of LukeUncensored.com. You also get 3 master classes, forum, a new video almost every single day. Now you could sign up for it with Stripe. We're moving away from PayPal. There's going to be another platform we're going to be using soon, as we also just launched another t-shirt surrounding this topic on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. This is where I promote my stuff in order to keep my business up and running. Just a heads up before we talk about the Crimea Bridge, but this is our latest artistic rendering that's available in many different formats: short sleeve, long sleeve, women's shirts, you name it. I just like the long sleeves myself. It's getting cold out there. I don't like it. But our latest shirt highlights Mark Zuckerberg saying, "I delete your post," Amazon saying I delete your books, YouTube saying I delete your videos, Bill Gates saying I delete you, with Elon Musk looking above all of them saying I revived the deleted. Very optimistic point of view. Yes, I understand, but also really funny, and that's why we decided to make it here on thebestpoliticalshirts.com, where we have just revamped our website. You could actually look for shirts in the search button. You could look for particular brands here as well. And of course, we started this t-shirt company after being one of the first few channels to be fully demonetized, and I'm really proud of our shirt. It's one of the best ways to express political ideas without having the threat of being censored, breathing down your neck. This is one of the best ways to express political ideas. Some of the shirts we have here are too spicy to even show you on this platform. To see all of them, plus a lot more, to do your part of lazy activism, meet like-minded individuals in your town, make some new friends, go to thebestpoliticalshirts.com. The link is down in the description below, and of course it also helps sustain and grow this independent media operation, and you could get a shirt like the one that I'm wearing right now that of course also bridges the gap between the left and the right, which I think is more important than ever, especially since, politicians like to keep arbitrary borders and have their poor people fight their other poor people, as of course many people agree that war is a racket. People don't want to hurt each other. People don't want to kill each other. But for some strange reason, when politicians tell the poorest people in their country to do so, they somehow follow orders and do this, which is happening right now in Ukraine, which also represents the larger proxy war between the East and the West that has been building up for a very long time. There's video footage of war hawk neocon Lindsey Graham and John McCain in Ukraine promising an offensive against the Russians, and the words were more prophetic than, of course, just promising, as we're facing the possibility of some really bad things. Russia is a nuclear power, Ukraine is not, the United States is, and as Elon Musk just said moments ago, quote, nuclear war probability is rising rapidly, and he is not wrong for saying this. The United States just also bought a nuclear emergency drug to the tune of $290 million for themselves. Will you get that drug in case there's a nuclear war? No. Are you going to be going into the bunkers of these multinational corporations, these bankers and politicians that they have set up all around the country? No. And as everyone else sees this as a clear threat to humanity, some see this as an opportunity, as recently the BlackRock CEO allegedly came out saying that this current war between Russia and Ukraine, the proxy war with the United States involved here, could, quote, boost centralized digital currencies, particularly also stablecoins. And as a lot of people are looking out for their own personal investments, as people are trying to make opportunities out of this, as of course companies are selling weapons, we still have to understand that there is a real life human cost to all of this, and that of course is usually put on the burden of some of the poorest people in countries, the poorest people who of course are forced to fight each other, to hurt each other, kill each other, which is just absolutely insane. The insanity we saw a bigger perspective of when a key piece of Russian infrastructure was recently attacked over the weekend, an attack that also killed 3 innocent civilians. This key piece of Russian infrastructure also, of course, is a major supply line to Crimea, the Russian-held territory that the Russian government has annexed there a few years ago, a territory that Ukraine sees as theirs and Russia sees as a strategic location for, of course, their military and their country. This as today, Russian divers have been deployed to examine the foundation of this bridge after, of course, hearing the possibilities that there was also explosive-laden boats used on this particular attack. The Kremlin is also talking about the possibility of a truck bomb. What happened here? Well, we're still finding out. But of course, many people who are behind the Ukrainian war effort are celebrating this bombing of this key bridge, a miracle bridge as previously described by the president of Russia, as the Ukrainian government has just issued commemorative postage stamps with this particular attack. Now, of course, this attack also highlights how the Russian government is not able to protect their infrastructure, which will also, of course, probably signal a Russian attack on Ukrainian infrastructure, which already could be underway, as we're finding out that the Ukrainian nuclear power plant is having some of its energy being cut, and I think it's fair to say that we could definitely expect more Russian counterattacks on Ukrainian infrastructure from here. This, as of course, the president of Ukraine has said that somehow Russia is the country involved here when it comes to bombing their own infrastructure. Yes, I kid you not. Just when you thought the propaganda couldn't get any more crazier, as of course we have the Western corporate media saying that Russia now is blowing up their pipelines. Now we have the Ukrainian president saying that Russia is now blowing up their key pieces of infrastructure. Now, the reason that Zelensky is saying this, saying specifically that one of Russia's security factions was behind this blast, was particularly done so to show that Putin is in trouble. And as of right now, this is obviously a theory that hasn't been proven, as it looks like Zelensky is trying to put in a wedge between the FSB and Defense Ministry. Russia hasn't even assigned blame yet for this larger attack, but I think it's pretty clear who benefits from all of this. Is Zelensky telling the truth here? Well, face value, this looks absolutely kind of shocking. Is this a form of mental war? Well, who knows? Any form of war is just absolutely stupid in my opinion. And as we mentioned previously before, truth is the first casualty of war. Everyone's just looking out for themselves, and in reality, the people are the ones paying the price of political ambitions of politicians. And as we're just getting the latest photos and videos, specifically in Syria, human beings are not naturally made to maim and destroy other human beings. There's a reason a lot of them have PTSD afterwards, and that's because it's not inherent in human beings to extinguish life for the pure benefit of an individual. For survival, that's yet another question. But to me, all these concepts, all these ideas, all this lunacy could be stopped with the right ability of individuals just being able to communicate with each other. But powerful interests, bankers, big tech, social media, multinational corporations are standing in the way of that, and that's why I think that's some bull crap. And if you agree, share this video with your friends and family members. If you thought anything I said was wrong or anything was incorrect, or if you thought I got something that I thought was true but you thought wasn't, let me know down in the comment section below. I always appreciate constructive criticism. I always appreciate the ability to be able to see things outside of my world preview. I hope you guys get a shirt, not just because it finances this independent media operation, but because it allows you to start the conversation with the people around you, conversations that I think are more important than ever. Our voices matter. Our opinions matter. Our thoughts matter to the larger consciousness of our current reality that we are all sharing on this earth. And as we've seen with PayPal, we could all make small individual actions that, of course, could stop a lot of the lunacy coming our way. And I hope we take this opportunity very seriously in order to do so. I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on wearechange.org.